Great Southern Hotel is to be opened up as a refugee centre, but it was originally planned to be a nursing home centre. So then there was some of the locals were saying it was kind of an underhand way that they went about it, the changing of the planning. So what are your thoughts about this development?
Completely underhanded, as you said. Originally, as you said, it was supposed to be a nursing home, which would have created probably 50, 60, maybe 100 jobs for the locality. The change of plans, I don't think there's going to be any employment out of it. For such a small rural village, what are they going to house in there? Is it 300, 400, 500 people that we're not going to be able to take? We don't have the infrastructure for it here. We already have 3 sites here with refugees in it. Now, you don't understand, refugees, they're not out of their country for nothing, and I understand and I empathise with them, but at the same time the local authority and the government have to realise that in such a small locality we cannot physically or economically support this. It's just wrong. Whereas a nursing home would have created jobs, as I said, and it would have been far better for the locality itself, because you would have had visitors coming down. The economy would have grown here as well. So I just think it's a total farce now, to be honest, and completely and utterly underhanded. And I'm not the only one. I mean, the whole village thinks it.
A proper disgrace. I mean, the locals need something for themselves. It was promised years ago, and now they've taken it away from them. And it seems they've done it underhanded and behind backs. They've started all this now very quietly before the people knew about it. So I think it's a proper disgrace.
We're having a very expectedly very large meeting tomorrow, public information meeting, with regard to the loss of our nursing home to a developer who proposes to turn it into a reception centre for refugees. Absolutely nothing to do with anything else. Our agenda is totally the loss of our nursing home, and a sideline to that is, we're very disappointed with our government's handling of this.
My thoughts are that I'm not happy about it. I do feel that it should have been kept as a nursing home. My grandmother ran a nursing home in Kilran for years in the 80s and 90s, and it's something that we do need down here. It would have generated employment and everything for people as well. The refugee centre, I'm not against anyone being given housing or protection, but I do feel that the amount of single men that are coming into the community is not acceptable. I have teenagers. My teenage daughter only asked me last week why she can't go for a walk on her own in the evening. I can't let her. It's not safe. There's too many people being packed into such a small place that we don't know, and it's quite concerning, actually, to be honest. I think I will go to the meeting in Tegoat on Sunday, and I would be up for blocking the hotel to not let them in. It might sound a little bit extreme, but I feel that's what we need to do.
It would be a natural disaster for the area. It would become like Calais in France. It would devalue everything in the area. It would become one major refugee centre. The hotel itself, I think, can ultimately house up to about 800 people. That was it. This would become a refugee centre. Who's going to come down here on holidays? Nobody. I said, if you take it now, there's supposed to be 170 people going in here in the next 2 weeks. If you were to have that many people here at night time walking around with nothing to do, they're going to get up to development. It's just human nature. It happens in every city all around the world. When there's lads hanging around together, just get up to development. Nobody around here will walk anymore. Everybody walks at night time, the power workers and whatever. That'll all stop. People will be afraid to go at night time. It will become very dangerous. Crime rate, I think, will go up. I'm not blaming it all on them, but look, I'm being factual about it, that it'll be the death of Rosslare. Nobody will come here in holidays. All the B&Bs will close. Who's going to come to Rosslare on holidays if it's a massive big refuge centre? No. The nursing home, yes, that would have brought in revenue. People would retire there. They'd have visitors. They'd stay over. They'd have B&Bs. Hotels would all back up again. It'd be great for the area.
And it's not fair, because we were promised a nursing home, and it was an ideal place for the nursing home, But as I say, And this 250 I heard was coming into the first phase, and it's all single males. Well, people are vulnerable in this. Old people are vulnerable, frightened to walk out. I mean, they could be okay, but there's always a fear, isn't it?
We have welcomed people here with open arms. We have a lovely community. Our Ukrainian families and our international protection applicants living just up the road, working locally, getting on just great. It's lovely. Just do not think that it's fair to expect a very small community with very little in the way of resources and services to take on another. Upwards to 400 people is the expected thing. So this is what our issue is.
Do you know how many you've taken already?
I don't, but I do know it's in the hundreds. And they haven't been a problem. And I don't have a problem with them, they don't have a problem with me. Everything is perfect. But when you're talking about an extra 200, an extra 400, an extra 600, then we are creating problems.
We don't have the facilities here for that many people. We just don't. I mean, we have a supermarket. We have no hotels now because they're being used for other purposes. I don't know. I think it's going to be a very, very difficult place to live.
I think it's a proper disgrace, really and true. And the way it was done so quietly, they've already got that up and running, started to move them in quietly behind backs and kept it quiet, which is a proper disgrace. So the government's behind it all because they just give money. They're giving the money, so it's all about money.
Rosslare depend on their tourist trade big time, and this is going to impact it big time, absolutely big time. So it's going to be a big problem.
Well, I've spoken to a few of the people I know, and they would be mainly women, and they're actually kind of quite concerned because they feel as if they're not going to be able to walk around the village without kind of being, having to watch over their shoulders. And I think it's also as well, my concern would be after the Offaly case where that man, he did what he did. So that's in people's minds as well, that, what's the vetting of these people coming in? Have they got kind of any records of who they are, what they are, where they're coming from? And, and as I say, we all know people, I have no objection to them coming in, but I do think they have to be kind of properly we need to know who they are and what their history is and where they're coming from and why are they actually here. There's a lot of rumour going around that they're not even coming from war torn countries. They're coming from places that have no issues at all. It's just better for them to come here because of the system that we have.